Hi, Christine.
Hi, Shireen. Thank you for your time again to join in this meeting.
No problem. Sorry about the delay. I just lost track of time.
No problem, no problem. I'm recording, so I'm going to just dive straight into recapping from where we were yesterday, just in case people watch this video that weren't part of our group yesterday. So just to recap, you, Shireen, did Life Alignment 2005, the entry level into body alignment. And I remember when you came in, you had lost your confidence, and here you are 15 years later, a practitioner, having done up to module 2. Recap, you had your health issues and you have overcome cancer with chemo and radiation and a whole host of other quite daunting challenges in your life. And this last balance was very interesting because you shared it with us on another video, so we won't go into it again, but just to recap on those words and what we were doing. So we did a group healing, which was also attended by a number of other people who also did their homework and shared their stories. But you being the priority person for the group balance and being the surrogate person for the group balance, you were representing the whole group here. So it's your story that counted. So we chatted in a previous video about the root cause of the balance, which was abuse. And the priority that we worked with was the 12th chakra and bringing in the 9th ray. So for those that haven't worked with chakras and rays, which is quite an advanced level in life alignment, it's a module 5 balance. The 9th ray mostly is about bringing in joy and attracting your fullest potential. And it's also works with cleansing up from the 8th ray upwards. So it's bringing in the body of light. So what we looked at was the emotions that were blocking in the previous Zoom call that we did, which was also recorded, which was part of you working with your story around this and then how that reflects out into the consciousness of what's going on right now with many others. So we had the words wrong direction, senility, depression, and then we had a positive emotion coming in on magical, and we had also obligation and a fear connected with failure, and the time frame was 9 years ago. So I don't need you to go through that story again because we did already discuss it in the previous Zoom chat that we had. And then we had a positive affirmation, which was my mind is relaxed and at peace. But we also picked up a pattern that was a disconnection from reality or an illusion of sorts. And some of the others in the group shared their story and what that meant for them. And I thank them deeply for that. But we then had a meditation to do, which only came after. And the meditation is one I've just recently posted. But you did a meditation of your own accord after we chatted, because I did say to you that you're going to be downloading and processing quite a few days, if not sometimes weeks after a balance. So it's different for everyone in the way that they process information after a balance. So you shared with us a meditation that you did, and I would love to hear your experience shared again, simply because being a life alignment practitioner, you will understand that we hold our emotions in our body. And so how do we let those emotions go? And you, it seemed in your meditation, were still shedding these emotions that are stored in your body. So I'd love to hear your story, Shireen, and I'm sure there are many others out there that would love to hear your story as well.
Sure. After my balance, I went into a meditation and hoping to get some insight about all the topics that we have discussed. And I noticed that my body started becoming inflamed, and the root chakra, the solar plexus, and both my arms burnt like hellfire. I couldn't understand it, because then I'm thinking maybe it's the inflammation that's flaring up.
Because you had inflammation prior.
Yes, I did have a bit of inflammation prior. And then I tried to feel my body, examine my body. And I noticed that my body started going into a vibration. It started vibrating. And before I knew it, my body was shaking and moving uncontrollably, involuntary. I was very conscious. I know what's happening, but I couldn't understand why my body was going that way.
Shireen, were you sitting down during this meditation?
No, I was lying down on my therapy bed.
Right.
Now, my therapy bed is as every other therapy bed. It's a small bed like this.
Right.
And I lay on this bed and just started to feel my body move so uncontrollably.
Did that scare you, Shireen?
It did scare me, because now I know my bed is small, and hoping not to
Fall off.
fall over or roll over. But then I knew at the back of my mind that I am shedding all these unresolved issues that are now coming to my mind. The thoughts of feeling anger, depression, resentment, and all this pain that I was feeling in my body. I could feel all this in every part of my body. So I allowed myself to do it, to do what it's supposed to do. And as my body as everything started to unfold, my body subsided, the shaking stopped, and I was relaxing. Towards the end of the meditation, I think I almost fell asleep.
Wow.
And
so
as I lay on the bed, it came to me, it came very clear to me that, my body has taken so much. And I realized that my body is now, it's not a junkyard, where we dump stuff. I need to now get rid of all this. And I need to now start focusing, taking control, more like self-empowerment. And the word is, I can't find the word.
you're looking
There is a word.
Okay. You're looking for a word to describe what? How you're feeling now?
Yes, I'm looking for a word that would encompass. I'm stuck.
No problem. So I'm just going to recap on that, because being a practitioner, you realized that, with life alignment, we say that the issue is in the body's tissue. So we hold everything at a cellular level. So when we are doing a healing, what we're doing is giving you words that lead to a story. And as you identify with that story, we ask guiding questions which help you to come into more of a conscious awareness of what the energetic healing was all about. So whether we are
Yes.
consciously aware or not of the story, the energetic part of it happens without having to have the mental, let's say, knowledge of what's going on. But funnily enough, this balance was connected to the mental body. So what I think happened for you, Shireen, was that as an adjunct to what I had done, you did the meditation of your own accord. Now, sometimes after a healing balance, we give you something to do that's going to help you to take part responsibility for your healing. And it could have quite well have been to do a meditation. So not everyone meditates, but obviously you do. Plus you have got your spiritual life, which I know you're very involved in. It's not just life alignment. You have your own spiritual world outside of working with the body, mind, medicine. So I know that's helped you enormously as well. So now you realize that your meditation just helped to shed more stuff that are we losing you, Shireen? Oh, there you are. Your body was still releasing things, and the involuntary movements is your body releasing this tension that's being held in your body. So I'm glad you're a practitioner and that you kind of realized that, even if you hadn't seen it before. Now, when I have a healing, my body also will sometimes just involuntarily move, whether it be a little shudder or something like this. And I also realize it's my body releasing stuff. And sometimes I'm not even aware of what it's releasing, but that's fine. So when you told me this at our chat yesterday, I recounted a story which was really more for practitioners to understand, and also people receiving healing, that this can happen. It doesn't happen to everyone, but it can. And I related a story about a client of mine who came in, and she was lopsided. So if you look at me here now, my shoulders are like this. She came in like that, and she was sitting on my bed talking to me like that. I actually thought she was leaning like that, but she wasn't. This was her body alignment. It was like this. And she told me that she had been going for about 8 months, twice a week, for massage and different therapies to try and realign her body, because it wasn't anything that was a medical condition. So a physical adjustment wouldn't have made any difference to her whatsoever. She realized that it was emotional stuff that was putting her energy body out of alignment with her physical body. So this can sometimes happen where the physical body is out of alignment. It normally will happen through a trauma of some sort. And she had been through emotional trauma in a relationship, and this had thrown her body out. So when we worked with this story that was locked in her body, miraculously, at the end of that particular session, and it was just one session she had with me, she straightened out whilst on the bed, with no manipulation or anything. Her body just did these involuntary moves. Her arm would be flinging over one way and then the other, and then her leg would be moving. Excuse me. And at the end of that, the result was her body had aligned itself completely with no intervention whatsoever, apart from just releasing the story. So
you are breaking up.
Excuse me. Are you there, Shireen? Internet maybe not so good.
Yes, there was a little bit of disturbance there.
Yes. I'm just going to have a sip of water. Yes, so did you feel that having partaken in the being the surrogate person for the balance, that perhaps also it wasn't just your stuff, because you were the surrogate person representing everyone else? So that was a huge shedding of sorts, not just of your own stuff, but a shedding of unconscious stuff as well that we take on energetically into our energy fields. And today you're feeling so much lighter, I believe.
Absolutely. I felt there's been a major shift of energy.
That's absolutely fantastic. That's brilliant. That's absolutely awesome. So I think that that was really all I wanted to kind of connect with you again, to share with people within our group, and then to anyone else who maybe is a student or someone who might be thinking of having a session of life alignment, so that they can have an idea of how we work, both physically when someone is there, but also equally we can do this whole thing online, which is what we did. We did everything online. You didn't physically see me for this session, and how would you say it was for you? Because I think that was the first time you'd had a remote session, and the first time perhaps you've been a
Yes,
surrogate as well for a group. Would you
probably.
do it again?
Yes, I will do it again. Probably I'll be more prepared the next time.
Yes, but well, I mean, what preparation do you really need, Shireen? I mean, you were amply prepared, because you can't really prepare for something like this. I can't even prepare for something like this in advance, because I have to just get the information as I'm doing it and convey it as I'm getting that information. So it's very much in the moment. But things do
I
unfold
know.
afterwards. Yeah, so we don't have to prepare ourselves. That's the beauty about this. We can just be in the moment, just be totally, allow ourselves to get out of that mental mind, and just get back into our bodies and connect with our hearts. And that's all we have to do. And I know it's hard sometimes, because we numb out, and we numb out all the hurt and the pain and everything else that we don't want to look at gets swept under the carpet. And this forces us to come back home to ourselves, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome.
Mm.
Good. So I sent the link to the meditation. I hope you will continue with that meditation. It's taken us right through to all the chakras, and I hope you enjoy it. And if you have any other experiences, we look forward to hearing from them in the next Zoom.
Sure, will do.
Lovely.
Thank you so much, Christine.
Thank you
Thanks.
for sharing your story again.
No problem.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.